The UK's favourite magic mushroom, the Liberty Cap, has a fascinating history. It's a tale that winds from Roman slaves to revolutionary coins, from shaping culture to psychiatric breakthroughs, and it's only just getting started. The name Liberty Cap goes back to ancient Rome. When you freed a slave, you'd give him this conical felt hat called a pileus. It meant freedom, but everyone could still see you'd been a slave, so freedom with a catch, basically. Then in 44 BC, after Julius Caesar gets assassinated, one of the main conspirators against him, Marcus Junius Brutus, stamps that same hat onto a coin as propaganda, proclaiming Rome is free from tyranny. The symbol sticks. It pops up again during the American and French revolutions, always symbolizing freedom and rebellion. Fast forward to the 1800s, and the English poet James Woodhouse compares mushrooms to freedom's cap. When scientists formally classify the little pointy mushroom in 1838, the name just fits. They call it the Liberty Cap. But for over a century, it's just a regular mushroom. Nobody knows what it does. Then in 1962 at Oxford University, another English poet, this time Robert Graves, a war hero and intellectual heavyweight, stands up and tells an audience that this mushroom is divine ambrosia. He tried psilocybin after his friend, ethnomycologist R. Gordon Wasson, went to Mexico and participated in sacred mushroom ceremonies. Graves talks about experiencing utter peace and blue-green ghettos of the sea. And because he's Rupert Graves, people listen. Within years, British teenagers are tramping through muddy fields in the Lake District, Sussex Downs and Scottish Highlands, filling bags with their own homegrown psychedelia. The mushroom season becomes an annual pilgrimage that goes on to shape the counterculture movement and beyond. You can hear it in the music, the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, Pink Floyd's kaleidoscopic early stuff, the incredible string band weaving mysticism into folk songs. This wasn't just about California acid or trips to India. British psychedelia had its own native ingredient. The Liberty Cap democratized the whole thing. You didn't need underground connections or smugglers. You just needed to know which field to check in September. A farm worker in Wales could access the same experience as a London artist. It shaped fashion, art, underground magazines, the whole counterculture. And then, in 1971, the UK makes psilocybin illegal. The utopian dream fizzles, but the influence never really dies, it just goes underground. You can trace it through the rave scene, through Britpop, right up to today. And here's where the story picks up steam again. Because in the last few years, over 20 clinical trials have tested psilocybin for depression, PTSD, addiction, trauma, and eating disorders. Many show huge promise. The UK government is now backing plans to ease restrictions for approved trials. Mainstream doctors are even asking, should we prescribe this? It's perfect irony. A mushroom named after freedom could get you locked up for years, but at the same time, now it might become legitimate medicine. Every September, millions of Liberty Caps still bloom across British pastures. Nature doesn't care about human laws, and as science catches up to what Graves was talking about 60 years ago, the story feels less like an ending and more like a continuation. From Roman slaves to revolutionary coins, from poetry lecturers to Pink Floyd, and from counterculture to clinical trials, this little mushroom has always been tangled up with the questions of freedom and consciousness. The symbol that marked freedom with a catch might finally be delivering on its promise.